All right, peace and blessings, family. I'm excited for this video, specifically this training that we're going to drop. I know me specifically, I dealt with this a lot, so this is a lot of things in which I went through firsthand. So I definitely got a lot of insight on this with multiple accounts that I've had on my report. That I know me just coming here with the experience, not only from my success within my own report, but many of my clients as well too. And specifically, I just removed this a charge off my brother's report. I made a post about this on my Instagram, and it helped his score go up 77 plus points with that removed and a trade line added onto his account. I've done a call not too long ago touching upon trade lines and the importance of trade lines. Today, specifically, I want to leave it you guys with, how to remove charge offs, whether that's a credit card, whether that may be an auto loan, any type of charge off account that's on your guys' report. I'm going to show you guys how to get removed. So, as defined by the IRS, a lot of people don't know what a charge off is or what they must do when they do charge off account as a whole. So, define this is coming specifically from the IRS website, but as they do go through, um, and file a charge off, they're supposed to file a 1099 OID. You must report canceled debt as gross income on your taxes. The IRS clearly defines a charge off as a gross or ordinary income. Income does not come reported on the consumer report. So, them reporting income on your consumer report, they're getting paid from this. They're filing a cancellation form with the IRS of this debt and then getting paid benefiting from that because it's quote unquote loss. And then on top of that, they're selling it to a third party debt collector, and then this third party debt collector is um, coming to attempt to collect this debt from you, in which they had nothing to do with the contract or the agreement in the first place. They were nowhere in the agreement, and they had nothing to do with the agreement. I'm going to show you guys how, on your guys' credit cards. A lot of you guys, unless you guys have signed the back of that card, haven't even signed the agreement. So you guys aren't obligated to even making these payments. And even with you signing the agreement, there's still ways around. I'm going to break it all down on today's call. And I'm going to really just keep you guys within the definition section of truth and lending. So a lot of people skip over truth and lending when through any type of lending. This is a subchapter that we want to target and get familiar with. So I'm going to take you guys to the definition section and show you guys how alone with the definition section we can get things removed. But let me finish reading this IRS definition of a charge-off. It's defined as a gross or ordinary income. Income does not get reported on a consumer report, which in fact makes your reporting of this account inaccurate. And we know that any inaccurate report must be removed from a consumer report. By definition, the IRS clearly says a canceled debt or charge off is income, and the reporting of this account as a debt is inaccurate. So I demand the removal. So I'm reading this off of one of the letters and templates that I have for charge offs. So that alone, is a clear, you guys just demand, and I've gotten a lot of charge offs removed specifically from just requesting that 1099 OID form and specifically stating what I just stated within here. Let me see if I'm able to share my screen here on YouTube. I wrote up a credit denial advertising letter I would love for you to look over if possible. If you could schedule a 15-minute conversation, we definitely could look into that. Let me see. I wish I knew how to share my screen on here. Okay. I don't think I could do that. Okay, my guy Julian, if we were on that call yesterday, when I get some time this week, would definitely just schedule another call, and I could do it on that 15-minute call. So let's get into it. I'm gonna pull up the definition section. I highly advise that you guys pull up Title 15. I'm gonna take you guys to Chapter 41 as always, and then we're gonna come here to Title 15, 1601. We're gonna start in the congressional findings. So we're gonna start before the definition section. And as I always say, alone with just the congressional findings and the definitions, you guys can get anything removed. You don't need to throw out and even know a million different codes and different violations. You just need to know specifically what's being said within the congressional findings and understand the verbiage and the definitions of each word within the subchapters. And that's going to take you guys to the definition section. And within that, as I break it down, you guys will see how powerful each definition is. So first things first, I got some questions for you. I took some notes on my phone, so I'm gonna be reading here on my phone. But what's the first thing that you guys get as you guys go through with the transaction in the first place? What's the first thing that you guys got to give to them always? All right, we always got to give them our 9-digit Social Security card. So from the moment we gave them our Social Security number, we're giving them credit. And as we're doing these online applications, if you guys go apply for Amex card right now online, right? You guys are not going to sign any contract or any agreement online. You guys are going to get approved or not get approved, right? Many of you guys have been denied, quote unquote, for you guys not having enough credit worthiness, etc. I've got a video on that'll break that down and help you guys with those cases for those that have been denied. And that video is actually our top viewed video at 10,000 views right now. So a lot of people have been able to get those accounts adverse action and get approvals from specifically watching that video on the channel. And gotten those accounts open back up. But above all else, as we're going through and applying for these credit cards online, we're not signing any contracts as we're going through and applying. And the only two things in which are needed and that are taking place is, number one, a decision is being made. The decision is our credit is going to be ran. We're granting them the right to run our credit, putting down our Social Security number. And then the next thing is an agreement. All right, so if we come here to 1601, you had no say in the agreement. So right here, the Congress finds that economic stabilization would be enhanced in the competition among the various financial institutions and other firms engaged in the extension of credit would be strengthened by the informed use of credit. So nowhere in here were we informed as we went through and applied online for a credit card about any type of agreement. Or we had no say in the agreement at all. All right, it was an uninformed decision that was made because nobody's making anything clear nor conspicuous within the agreement. I'm going to go over this here real soon and where it defines this. But the informed use of credit results from an awareness of the cost thereof by consumers. So first things first, within congressional findings of Truth in Lending, the name of it is informed use of credit. So clearly people and consumers have been informed upon the true proper use of their credit. So now when we come here, it's the purpose of the subchapter to assure a meaningful disclosure of credit terms in which they do not disclose to us. We're getting approved for these credit cards without any of this being disclosed to us, so that the consumer will be able to compare more readily the various credit terms available to him and avoid the uninformed use of his credit. Well, sir, I've been uninformed upon the use of my credit because, and then furthermore, you guys send over a contract, which within this contract is 30 pages, in which I know the average consumer is not going to go through and read. And even if they do go through and read, they're not going to fully understand what's being said within this. So that's just one violation within itself. We've been uninformed upon the proper use of our credit. And this is within the congressional findings of Truth in Lending. So this violation right here, specifically for those that are coming in, we got over 8 people on the live. Make sure we're coming in and liking these videos as well too, and giving back so that I can give back tenfold to you guys. Because all I ask ever on these lives, on these calls, is that you guys come in here and like the video if you're gaining value. If you're not, I simply ask that you put a dislike, but comment what you didn't like, and I'll make sure to provide what you didn't like on that next video, or go more in depth with what it is that you, or even touch upon what you didn't agree upon if you dislike the video. But if you like the video, if you feel you're gaining knowledge, insight, please come in and share some love by just dropping a like. It takes less than 2 seconds. But it definitely means a lot because it'll get this channel out there more so that I can come here and provide more to you guys. Like today specifically, I just dropped the membership. So I'm going to go over the membership tomorrow in detail, but there's 3 different levels. We have a basic membership, which is the Millionaires Club. So I'm going to be giving a lot of step-by-steps, a lot of how-tos, and really going over different procedures, the administrative process, and things you guys could take to get anything removed. And then the Billionaires Club. Within the Billionaires Club, which is the second level, more in-depth videos, more in-depth knowledge, more hands-on, access to more features. And I'll go over all the features and stuff tomorrow. And then we have the Mob, which is the third level. And I actually have a podcast coming real soon, which is going to be called The Mob as well, too, where I'm going to be having a lot of investors, business owners, etc. on this podcast. So definitely stay tuned for the Mob. But if you guys want early access to the Mob in the community, I do got the 3-level memberships, and that's where you guys will get access to me, access to my communities as well too, and access to one of my mentorship calls a week just for investing $25 a month into the YouTube membership premium. So we'll go over all of that more in detail tomorrow. I don't honestly have it fully all put together in terms of what I'm going to differentiate and bring within each 3. But I know for a fact the 3rd level will get access to one of our mentorship calls a week, which we do 2 a week. So I'll be excited to have the YouTube collab with my private community already that I've been building the past 2 years. So you guys can get insight not only from me within consumer law, but my community as well too. So first things first, I've gone over. So right here, the uninformed decision was made because nobody's making anything clear nor conspicuous within the agreement. Now I'm going to take you guys here to the definition section. So we've been uninformed upon the use of our credit. Now I'm going to take you guys to Title 15 USC Section 02. Let me check the comment section. I'm locked in, not the mob, not he. Waiting. Yeah, so we got 3 different levels of membership. So you guys can check that out on the channel. I'll drop more details and specifics tomorrow. Wisdom is wealth. Thanks. Of course, thank you for tuning in, my guy Crash. There's all frequencies, there's all levels of vibration. We've all been, here, and we're all here for a reason, and it's a lot bigger than all of us. So now I want to take you guys to the definition section. I love going over the definitions because this is where a lot of people skip over, but which will help all of you guys. So I'm going to take you guys, I broke this down the other day, but now I'm going to break down, and I specifically did this. I only read the first part of the term creditor. Now I'm going to go more in depth with the whole definition because you guys see there's a lot to this definition as a whole. So if we come here and we look over, is the person to whom the debt arising from, right? So whom and where is this debt arising from? This debt is arising from us, the consumer, because in order for there to be debt, there's got to be credit. Debt comes from credit. Credit does not come from debt. So we're the ones who originated this credit, and upon that, they gave us debt. So we created the credit, then they gave us debt. So how can I create something? And I made a video upon this not so long ago. How can I create something? How can I give you something, and then you give it back to me, stating and telling me that I owe you something that I gave you, and I got to pay you on a month-to-month term and basis because of the agreement in which I was deceived into signing. And that's how this whole game is going, and that's how this whole game has gone, and that's why the FDCPA, Truth in Lending are all in place. And Truth in Lending came in place in 1968, so this isn't something that's fairly new or has just been going on. So the person whom the debt came from, because we are the ones who gave them the credit, debt comes from credit, debt does not create credit, right? And then furthermore, if you continue reading, it states, so it's a person to whom the debt arising from the consumer credit is initially payable on the face of the evidence of indebtedness. Or, check this out, and this is really going to checkmate everything, if there is no such evidence of indebtedness by agreement. So that agreement that I was referring to, there is no agreement when we're applying online for these credit cards and we're getting approved and we get the credit card sent to us, the only way we've been entered into it is if we sign the back of it. That's why they tell you to sign the back of your card when you get the card, so that you can get sign and agree to their terms. Enter yourself into a contract. Right? So if there's no evidence of the debt, the only way that they can get you into paying a debt is if you sign the agreement. So this is why the or part is vital, or if there is no such evidence of indebtedness by agreement. Right? There's no evidence of indebtedness. Congress then talks about adequate notice. We'll go over that in a second. But once again, if there's no evidence of the debt, there's no way they can get you into paying the debt if you never sign the agreement. How they get you guys into paying this debt and why people are quote unquote obligated to paying it is because they've signed the agreement. Now I'm going to go. So this is another violation. So this is no evidence of indebtedness. So this is the second violation. The first one was the misuse of our credit. The second one was no evidence of indebtedness. Then Congress talks about adequate notice. So let me tell you guys here the adequate notice. The term adequate notice. So this is the term K. 15 U.S.C. 1602 K, the term adequate notice. It means a printed notice to a cardholder, right? Where the cardholder, in fact, if you go read the term cardholder, it means any person to whom a credit card is issued. We're issued this card as we're approved from applying online, or any person who has agreed with the card issuer to pay obligations arising from the issuance of a credit card to another person, right? So that's the term cardholder. So it means a printed notice to a cardholder which sets forth the pertinent facts clearly and conspicuously, so that a person, this was not clearly nor conspicuously, set forth in pertinent facts at all. I'm not going to understand a 30-page document that was sent to me after me being approved and already receiving the credit. This is all supposed to be disclosed prior to me even running my credit. This is the same thing in which is going on in the dealerships. This is the same thing with every consumer credit transaction. So this goes for cars as well too. So I know we just did a call yesterday talking about, your guys' auto loan and how you guys can, discharge that. And I'm going to show you guys here real soon how to rescind any contract as long as it's been within 3 years as well too, with the right of rescission. I'm waiting for Monday to do that call. But today specifically, so that's another third violation. We were never clearly nor conspicuously, disclosed impertinent facts about any of this information. So we could reasonably have notice and understand the meaning. Let me see. Such notice may be given to our cardholder by printing the notice on any credit card or on a periodic statement issued to the cardholder, or by any means reasonably assuring the receipt thereof by the cardholder. So such notice must be given to the cardholder by printing the notice on any credit card or any periodic statement. All of this, though, it sets forth for the pertinent facts clearly and conspicuously. So it's got to be clear and it's got to be conspicuous. Then it talks about this within the right of rescission. So that's why I'm excited we got first put onto this before we get into the right of rescission, because now we understand what true, proper, adequate notice is. Right. Then the next thing that we can hit them with, so this is 3 violations within itself. And this is just within the congressional findings in the definition section. So now I'm going to leave it off with this. And this is the last thing and the last code we can hit them with. And that's just a simple CC, 1692 CC. And that's cease and desist, stopping all illegal activity, stopping all mediums of communication, all attempts of them coming to collect this debt, and is discharging it because it's stopping them from continuing in their illegal behavior. So that's 4 violations within itself. Those 4 we can send out to them specifically directly, and then send out an attorney general complaint as well as a CFPB complaint. So there's nothing to complicate or nothing more that you guys need to use. Another thing in which you guys can use always, as you guys have that agreement, which I always recommend, especially not only to get it deleted, but to get a remedy as well too, is if there's an arbitration clause, you guys can get remedy from using that arbitration clause against them. If you know how to go through and take these corporations to arbitration, there's a lot of money within that, not only deletion. So um, that's everything for tonight, family. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Let me go ahead and drop and read the comment section before we end this call tonight. Y'all, is it tonight for a vehicle dealership? I'm pretty deep in this, but I have questions. What's the source? If you were denied for that, watch the 3 videos of denial of credit that I have, and then watch the video that we just did on last night as well too. And then any video that I have breaking down truth in lending, this video alone tonight was great as well too. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'll see all of you guys tomorrow on the stream, on the channel. I'm excited and really looking forward to working with a lot of you guys more hands-on, getting to know you guys, help you guys with your guys' situation at a lot more cost affordable price and rate with our 3-level memberships. Of course, the Mob and Billionaires Club will get the most value, but even you just taking the initiative to be a part of something more and investing into yourself, even if it's a couple of dollars, being a part of Millionaires Club, I'll make sure that you guys get everything and more what you guys are looking for. So I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys in the Billionaires Club and in the Mob. But Credit Gotti, he's out. Peace and love. And as always, I'll see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded.